And we say good morning to you. Welcome. We're live at Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby, of course, the BMS here in the Bruton Smith building. Obviously, it is Christmas up here inside the world's fastest half-mile ticket office here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby of the Bruton Smith building on this Monday, November the 13th, 2017. And we say good morning to you and thank you for being with us. And we always start our show by dedicating it to the man who hung on the cross, and unashamedly we do that. And it says, very simply, out of the book of Psalms 25, verses 8 and 9 says, I am good and upright. I will teach you to walk in my paths. Strive to be humble. I will guide you in justice and teach you my ways, which are mercy and truth. There you go. That is awesome. And so that's the verse of the day to get us started. Again, as we said, we always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross, and we unashamedly do that. Boy, what a great time we had just in the church house. Goodness gracious, sakes alive, Martha White. It was good. So, good morning to you. Lots to talk about. The obvious coming out in Knoxville, the firing, the departure of Butch Jones, Brady Hoke, the interim coach, former head coach in Michigan, now is the interim coach for the last two games. They've got LSU and Vanderbilt. 4 wins under the belt, trying to get bowl eligible. We're going to talk about that. Who would be the obvious permanent replacements from Bristol, or from a permanent coaching standpoint for the Tennessee Volunteers? We got a list of those. We're going to be talking to Kevin Harmon coming up. Hello, doll. Come when you're ready. Yes, come when you're ready. Claudia Bird's going to join us. Yeehaw! All right, Speedway and Lights, Speedway Children's Charities, and this Thursday night is the Night of Smiles, and so we're going to be talking to her coming up here in just a second. Who would be the permanent replacement for Butch Jones? We're going to talk about that. Also, again, you look at what's going on or what's not going on with this football team. They're in total disarray, it would appear, as Missouri put 50 on them the other night, as you know by now, so that necessitated the departure, I guess, through the eyes of John Curry, the athletic director, to let him go. So we're going to talk about that. Kevin Harmon's going to join us by phone here, coming up here in a few minutes to give us the very latest on what's coming up in his mind. Our UT sports guy that is right on top of it, so we'll let him talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Also coming up a little bit later on the bottom of the hour, Landon Owen, the director for ticket sales here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're in the Christmas season. Yes, Thanksgiving's coming next Thursday. A lot of folks are Christmas shopping already, so thought starters for Christmas stocking stuffers would be tickets for 2018 at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's going to be a great year, of course, with the Food City 500 and the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race and the August race, so it's going to be good. We're going to talk to Mike Hedrick, top of the hour, from the NASCAR Fans Reporter, about NASCAR. The stage is set, the Final Four, and I might say the Final Four have a lot of success here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're talking about Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., and, of course, Kyle Busch. And so you say, of course, Kyle Busch. Yeah, Kyle Busch, you the man. So odds-on guy to win this thing, although Truex, Keselowski, of course, as we said, Kevin Harvick are the Final Four. It's interesting. Went back and looked last night. I don't know of any other sport where the competitors are still out there with everybody else, which opens up all kinds of scenarios and possibilities. You know, you got the World Series, 2 teams, Super Bowl, 2 teams, NBA World Championship, 2 teams, but in NASCAR, the Final Four racing guys are still out there with everybody else. It's not just a foursome trying to go against each other. They're also going against the field. So it just adds to the drama, to the stress, to the pressure. And then also, you know, boys will be boys. How much payback's going to be involved coming up on Sunday in Homestead for the championship, not only for the Cup Series, but for the Xfinity Series and the Camping World Truck Series as well. So it's going to be interesting, and Mike's going to tell us all about that coming up at the top of the hour. Also, we're going to be joined a little bit later on by my man Drew Bedard, again the senior director of brand management here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is Speedway and Lights season. It kicks up and kicks off and gets with it. We'll drop the green flag, if you will, Friday night for Speedway and Lights, and the Night of Smiles coming up on Thursday. We're not going to steal her thunder. Claudia's going to be here in just a second to talk about that. So all that. Got some college basketball. The Lady Bucks go down yesterday and get drilled by the Lady Vols, and there was with good reason. Number one, Tennessee's much improved basketball team, and then of course the Bucks lose one of the big stars. In fact, the star, Tiana Tartar, got hit across the bridge of the nose, took six stitches and broke her nose, and that was after that. It was 87-49 thumping was the final, and so the Lady Bucks again. Tartar goes out. It was 9-6, and after that, boom, boom, out go the lights. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later on to the show. College hoops, also got some baseball. Winter meetings starting up We got 4 big topics in the winter meetings. High school football, only one still standing, the Greenville Green Devils. Everybody else is gone, eliminated. And then also got some high school basketball cranking up this week as well. And so we're very pleased to tell you we're going to be bringing you the semifinals and finals of the Hardee's Classic next weekend, next Friday and Saturday. Again, Friday night the 24th and Black Friday, then Saturday the 25th. Semifinals on Friday night and the Consolation Championship on Saturday. Going to be joined by a former coach and basketball analyst. This guy's good. I'm telling you, he's forgot more basketball most of us know. Clark Powers, great guy, dear friend, and so he's going to help me do the play-by-play or do the color for the broadcast next weekend. And so we're very excited about that. Also, we're talking to the folks of the Chick-fil-A Classic in Elizabethton to be part of that as well. So we're going to get into some serious hoops coming up here. And also looking at some Elizabethton Cyclone basketball. So we're going to be busy here, or busier the next couple of months. Tomorrow, Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday, we're going to be at Champion Chevrolet. Wednesday, we're going to be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday, we're going to be at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday, we got our assignment to go to Food City, which I didn't catch the memo yet. So we'll be somewhere Friday broadcasting live with the good folks at Food City on a Food City Friday. Today, we're at Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby of the Bruton Smith building. Right here's the ticket office. You won't see it because it's off camera, but in behind us a very, very nicely done and tastefully decorated Christmas tree, which is very, very nice. And so we'll take our first break, come right back, and we'll jump in and go. We'll give you the results out of the chute. We'll talk a little bit about Butch Jones and talk, we'll get you some finales of what's going on in in pro basketball in the National Hockey League. Also yesterday, NFL, we don't talk about the NFL anymore, except to say, in the loss to the Cowboys, the Atlanta Falcons, Jason Witten, 7 catches, 59 yards, no touchdowns, his longest catch, 21 yards. So we talk about 82 every time we can. And so 7 catches, 59 yards yesterday, the leading receiver for the Cowboys, no touchdowns, his longest catch, 21 yards. Cowboys lose yesterday. So that's all we talk about in the NFL. Those guys can't stop. You've heard my story about that. That's old news, but I'm not promoting them one iota the way they've treated the flag, and not the flag, but the national anthem. So anyway, quick break. We'll be right back. We're live again at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, getting ready for the Night of Smiles and also Speedway and Lights starting this Friday night. We'll talk more about that right after this on the show number 633 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, $23,995. 17 track, $17,548. 17 cruise, $16,488. 17 spark, $10,950. 17 Malibu, $18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just 2 great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
at Bristol Motor Speedway. There he is in the lobby. I see that beautiful Christmas tree in the backdrop here. Going to be talking to Claudia Bird coming up here in just a few minutes about what's going on here with Speedway Lights and the Night of Smiles this Thursday night. Let's go to the phone. He's there, our buddy Kevin Harmon with us. Goodness gracious sakes alive. First off, they laid an egg in Missouri. That egg laying precipitated the departure of Butch Jones. And so Kevin's our UT sports guy. First off, good morning. Thanks for your time. And where do we start? What's going on in K-Town as of Monday morning, November the 13th?
Well, some unpacking and some packing, box by box. I think what's going on is that John Curry is looking for a new football coach.
Right.
And he's come out and said that, it's going to be tight-lipped, and so you'll probably hear a lot of rumors, a lot of thoughts, a lot of stuff, people who claim to be insiders. There's going to be a lot of noise out there. But he's told the team that nothing is anything until he tells them. So, there's a lot of teams looking for coaches, so there's going to be a lot out there, but I believe that Curry is going to keep it as tight as he can. I really believe he's already been working on it. This was inevitable at some point. Just that egg they laid at Missouri was just too much to overcome. I mean, people were just fed up, and I think it was just the timing was right. So you had some decommitments, which was to be expected, but I believe if he makes a good hire, the right hire, that those commitments will give Tennessee a chance and talk to them. Well, we really need Cade Mays, and I'd like to get Alontae Taylor. But, it's all about the hire now. That's what we talked about. It's not about the fire. It's about the hire. Now the fire's been done. Now everybody's focusing on the hire. So that's kind of where we are right now, getting the hire correct, getting it right.
Talking to Kevin Harmon on the phone again. Appreciate his time. Brady Hoke, the interim coach, what's he do? Just kind of like the little boy keeping his finger in the dam to keep it from bursting? Is that you got LSU and Vanderbilt trying to get bowl eligible? What's the objectives now for Brady Hoke for these last two games?
Well, I think to bring some stability. Now that Coach Jones is fired, all this whole blue around all that is over. And I believe that, to give some continuity and some stability to the team, to the kids, hopefully, get some continuity out there in recruiting if we can. It's going to be tough until we get a new coach. But I think just for the team, the kids, he wants to bring some consistency, some continuity, and hopefully a couple of wins. We need 2 wins, and we've never lost 8 games as a program, so we don't want to lose 2 games. So hopefully he can bring some calmness, some stillness, and get some things going, especially on defense, where we can stop some people. We're 14-point underdogs to LSU. That's just unheard of at home. I would just look for continuity and stability and something for the team to hang their hat on and finish the year on a positive note.
Talking to Kevin Harmon, talking Tennessee football. We're live here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tomorrow will be at Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday at Chick-fil-A. Thursday at Champion. Friday will be at a food city near you. So, Kevin, going forward, my friend, we've got Brady Hoke in the saddle. Again, tell me about Butch Jones. Is it a lump sum buyout, or what's the latest? Is it going to be staggered payments? What have you heard about how they're going to financially take care of Butch Jones as he leaves?
Well, he'll get a paycheck a month for the next till 2021. That will only be lessened by if he gets $8 million, and roughly that's after tax. Everything will be taxed, but he gets a check a month. They came out yesterday and talked about the specifics behind the buyout, and basically November 30th is his first check. Then he'll get checks for every month until 2021. I think November of 2021, and only lessened by if he gets another job. Then Tennessee will pay him the difference between what he was making in Tennessee and what his new job will pay him. So whoever hires him will get somewhat of a break on salary. They can give him less money because they know he's also going to get paid at UT, which will make it maybe easier for him to land in a school that maybe doesn't have the resources. So it's a good thing for Coach Jones, and it's a classy move by Tennessee not to, haggle with him and fight with him about the buyout, kind of like Florida did. And I believe that's going to ultimately hurt Florida in the way that they handled Coach McElwain. And I think Tennessee and Curry did an excellent job in handling and letting it down Coach Jones. There's no good way to do it. And I think as far as Tennessee is concerned, they did as good as they could do.
talking to Kevin Harmon, talking Tennessee football. So here is 5 names. I'm going to throw them out here. This is coming off several quote-unquote experts telling us who they think should be there. I'm going to get your let's grade them out, A, B, C, or D, if you think these guys would be a good hire for Tennessee. And these, again, these aren't mine. These are just some folks in the media felt like this would be, and I don't know why they think they know. But anyway, number 1's the obvious, John Gruden. A, B, C, or D, good hire, would he come?
I'd give it a B. To be above average hire just because of his name and his recognition and what he could possibly bring to the table. He hasn't coached in a long time. That's the downside. But I'm not sure you ever forget how to coach. He's been around the game. So, he's never coached in college, which would be different. But I would say it's an above average hire just for the name recognition. And I think you get a lot of people excited about Tennessee football.
He has 95 wins, 81 losses in 11 years as an NFL coach, John Gruden. Number 2, Dan Mullen, Mississippi State. What do you think?
I think that'd be an A hire. I think he's a great coach. He's got limited resources at Mississippi State. We saw Saturday night he took Alabama to the wire. I think he's a great coach. I think he's got a lot of developed quarterbacks. He's won 2 national championships at Florida. I'd be surprised if Florida doesn't go after him hot and heavy, but I think he'd be an A hire. I really do.
His record is 68-45 as a head coach, 32-38 in conference play at Mississippi State, but 68-45 overall. Dan Mullins. Number 3, Justin Fuente, Virginia Tech. A, B, C, or D? Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, now I can.
Can you hear me okay?
I can now. You just dropped.
Okay, I think.
Go ahead.
Am I there? Okay, I think he would be an A hire. I think he's brought him back to where Beamer was. Obviously, he did a great job at Memphis. He's done a great job at Virginia Tech. I think he'd be a safe hire and a good hire. I like Justin Fuente. I think he'd be an A hire.
43-30 in 6 seasons as a head coach. Up next, Memphis, Mike Norvell. What do you think?
Well, I would give that a C hire. I think the Tennessee fan base would be upset about that. He's got a great quarterback. You kind of want to see what he could do without a Riley Ferguson. And he's taken some of Fuente's players who were very good, and he's done well with them. Bill Battle did well with Doug Dickey's players until he started getting his own players in. I think that stays still in Tennessee fans' mouths. I think they would like to see a little bit better track record. So I would give him a C, an average hire. We could do better.
All right, 2 more. Chip Kelly.
Well, Chip Kelly would be, he was 46-7 in Oregon. I mean, how can you go wrong? And he would be a big splash hire. I would give him a B. But, there's always been this feeling of the fit, and would he go back to the West Coast? And so, it's also rumored that he's pretty heavy with Florida. We'll see. I don't think Chip Kelly will come to Tennessee. He might. But if they did, it would be an obvious big hire, big name. He's won at places. He's been in national championships. So I'd give that a B.
Last one out of the top 5, or not top 5, but 5. This guy's 6-0 at Florida Atlantic, 7-3 overall. Folks are still talking about bringing back Lane Kiffin. I don't see that happening. What do you think?
That'd be an F.
There you go. So out of those 5, who do you like? If I said go get him out of these 5, or is there somebody else out there that kind of entices you to go get him?
Well, I like Mullen. I like Mullen first, and then you have, obviously Fuente and Scott Frost is a big name. So those are the 3 I would look at. I think Gruden, I'm just not sold on the fact that he hasn't coached in so long, and is he up to the rigors of recruiting? He's never done that, and that's not easy. You have to have a great staff, which really is coaching is all about too. You got to have a great staff. But I would like Dan Mullen. I'm a Dan Mullen guy. I think he would do a very good job here. He has a losing record, but he's in the SEC West. That's a tough conference, and he is limited at Mississippi State. And I think he's maxed what you can do at Mississippi State without cheating. So I'm a Dan Mullen guy first. I like Fuente. I like Scott Frost. John Gruden. Yeah, that'd be great. But I'm pulling for Dan Mullen.
Well, I think Scott Frost, if things go as he thinks, a lot of folks think, he'll end up back in Nebraska replacing Mike Riley, but that's very premature. But yeah, I'm like you. Dan Mullen is winning in a very, very tough conference. You got, of course, Alabama. You got Auburn over there, LSU. So the guy's hanging, and so Dan Mullen would be a pretty good pick. So we'll see. Now, last question before I let you go: the assistant coaches at Tennessee, they're immediately gone. Are they going to be retained? How are they as far as financially being bought out? How does that work now since Butch is gone?
Well, their buyout total is another $5 million, so it's going to cost Tennessee $13 million if every one of them leaves. You know, it's solely up to the next coach, and then solely up to that coach, that position coach, if they want to stay. Number one, and number two, does the next coach want them to stay? I don't think any coach on that staff is safe except Robert Gillespie. I think Stoops is in trouble. I think they're all in trouble. We haven't, you know, there was a lot of promise, a lot of promises made, especially off the offensive line, and it just didn't happen this year. So I don't think any coach is safe. They do have a buyout, so they will be able to land kind of softly, and they'll get other jobs. But Robert Gillespie has consistently delivered running backs, and he's no different this year with Ty Chandler and John Kelly. And I think he's a great coach, and I wish they would have given him the job of being the interim. But I'd hate to see him go, but I'm afraid he probably will. It's probably time to do something different. But he's the one I'd like to hold on to. But they'll land softly, and they'll get jobs. It'll be okay.
So they're still on staff down there, is that correct? They're still working for LSU?
Yes.
Getting ready for LSU? Okay, so they're going to more.
Yes, all of them are still on staff. Butch Jones is the only one that's gone.
Okay, Jones gone and the staff stays intact getting ready for LSU. And so last question, I'll let you go. From a player standpoint, is this a motivator? Is this a shot in the arms? Is it a deflation? What do you think the kids, which is the key because they got to get ready for LSU and Vanderbilt, what do you think the mood will be for this football team? Relief, sadness, mixed bag? What do you think?
Well, I think it'll be a little bit of relief. You know, you knew it was coming. There was a big dark cloud hanging over the program. It's not there anymore. Now it's about to hire. You can't play, and you can see it in their play. It was just awful Saturday night. And it was deflating to the team, not to the band, to the fans. I think the team will come out with a little bit more fire. We've had a lot of injuries. We're going to have to step it up, and I don't think Jones could have done that. So I think they'll come out with some fire, and hopefully we'll surprise LSU. It's going to be tough, but I believe we can do it. But I think overall as a team, you know, you stick with your brothers on the team. The team is still there. And those are the ones that's going to help you get through this. And I know it's some adversity, but, you know, we all face adversity, and there's nothing wrong with it. And, you know, the difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. So hopefully the senior leadership on that team will bring the good attitude every day, and these guys will be able to move forward. Maybe, you know, we don't want to lose 7 8 games. We don't want to lose 8 games. We've never lost it as a program. That's when Ohio State is it. So let's not lose 8 games. Let's get one of these next 2, and then, you know, turn the page. Let's go to next year.
LSU 21st ranked in the country at 7-3, coming to Knoxville on Saturday night, take on the Big Orange of Tennessee at 4-6. And so we'll see. Kevin will have more to say coming up on Thursday night on the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Great report, my friend. Awesome job, and I'll talk to you Thursday night, all right?
All right, Tom. I look forward to it.
Yeah, super job. Great job. Hit the bell with that guy. Dynamite. That's why we got him on the show. He's awesome.
Hi, man.
Kevin Harmon with us again, thanking him very, very much to be with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. By the way, Butch Jones, 34-27-5 seasons of the Vols, including a 14-24 record in the Southeastern Conference, which obviously is not going to get it done. And so Jones gone. And so Brady Hoke, the interim coach, former head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, now is the interim coach for the final 2 games, both in Knoxville. LSU Saturday night, and then next week the Vanderbilt Commodores come to town. New top 25 out this week. Let's run them down for you before we go to the break on college football. New top 25, Associated Press, top 10, Alabama. Miami vaults from number 7 up to number 2. Oklahoma still stays 3rd. Clemson stays 4th. Wisconsin up a notch, number 5. So it's Alabama, Miami, Oklahoma, Clemson, and Wisconsin. Then comes Auburn, Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma State, your top 10. At number 11, TCU, dropping 3 notches. Southern Cal jumps 3 up to number 12 this week. Penn State jumps 3 back up to number 13 for the Nittany Lions. Central Florida stays right at 14. Washington State 15. The Washington Huskies drop 7 down to number 16 this week. Mississippi State at 17. Memphis 18. Again, Memphis being quarterback by Riley Ferguson. We say this every time. His grandfather is the pastor at Gunnings Baptist Church in Blountville, right there near Sullivan Central High School. Riley at one point was on the team for Tennessee and transferred out to Memphis, and the rest, he says, history. 19th ranked Michigan this week. Stanford is at number 20. Then comes LSU, Tennessee's opponent on Saturday night, at number 21. Michigan State 22nd, South Florida 23rd, West Virginia, the Mountaineers at 24th, and North Carolina State rounds out the top 25. Dropping out this week was Iowa, Iowa State, and the Hokies of Virginia Tech all fall out of the top 25 of college football. Here it is, top 25 games this week involving top 25 teams. Top-ranked Alabama hosting Mercer. Whew, that's kind of a, yeah, that's a cream puff for sure, because Alabama's getting ready to take on, of course, Auburn in the Iron Bowl next week. So the Mercer Bears. Then you've got number 11 TCU at Texas Tech. Number 2 Miami hosting Virginia. That could be a trap game. 6-4 Cavaliers. Miami at 9-0. Cavaliers playing not all that bad of football. You say, Tom. Miami's number 2 in the country at 9-0. I'm just saying. The big game involving ranked teams, 19th ranked Michigan goes to number 5 Wisconsin. That's going to be a dandy. Auburn, 10th ranked Tigers hosting University of Louisiana Monroe. Also in top 25 this week, 17th ranked Mississippi State at Arkansas. 14th ranked Central Florida. Scott Frost, again, the drums are banging louder for him to go back to Nebraska. He'll play at Temple. 18th ranked Memphis hosting SMU. Also this week, 4th ranked Clemson hosting the Citadel in a checkbook game. You have 7th ranked Georgia entertaining Kentucky. That could be an interesting football game down between the hedges. I'm sure Georgia is spitting mad. They should be. They laid an egg against Auburn. 9th ranked Notre Dame hosting Navy this weekend at South Bend. 3rd ranked Oklahoma at Kansas. 8th ranked Ohio State hosting the Illinois Fighting Illini at a 3:30 kick at the Shoe in Columbus. 10th ranked Oklahoma State, the Cowboys hosting K-State. And you have 22nd ranked Michigan State hosting Maryland. And then you have a couple of other games. 13th ranked Penn State hosting Nebraska. 21st ranked LSU at Tennessee, as we said earlier. 25th ranked North Carolina State, the Wolfpack at Wake Forest. 2 more involving top 25. Southern Cal, the Trojans, 12th this week, hosting UCLA and the bragging rights of LA. And then 9th was 9th. Now they drop back to 16th. The Washington Huskies hosting the Utes from Utah. And that's your top 25 college football. The Hokies, by the way, back home take on the Pitt Panthers. That could be a trap game for Justin Fuente, who a lot of folks say may be one of the front runners for the Tennessee job. We'll see, but he's stumbled against Clemson and now stumbled against Miami big time. And so we'll see, and Georgia Tech. So we'll see. He's got 3 losses under his belt, and so we'll see how that helps him in the coaching process going down the line. Quick break. We'll be right back. We've got them lined up. We've got Landon Owen. We've got Claudia Bird, and we're live at Bristol Motor Speedway here on show number 633 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one-and-done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with a jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live at Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby again, the Bruton Smith Building. There's my man, the Director of Ticket Sales, Landon Owen, and so he can't stay long. There's a reason, and I'm tickled to death. I'm very proud of him and Mama, because you're about to have, literally, at any moment, get the call that number 2's coming, right?
I got the phone out. So, listening audience at home, if I get the call,
That's amazing.
We love you,
Yeah.
but we're gonna dip out. But yeah, it could come at any moment. We're still a couple weeks from the due date, but I think my wife is preparing for battle as we speak.
Yeah.
So we're excited and blessed that we'll be hopefully holding a sweet baby girl here in the next few days.
You got it. Good luck to Mrs. Owen, who is a West Virginia girl.
She is a West Virginia girl.
From the hills of West Virginia. I love it. So, Mr. and Mrs. Owen about to have number 2. That's awesome. So we won't keep him long, but we want to keep him. We'll talk about tickets in just a second, but Mike Hendricks will join us at the top of the hour with a full report, the NASCAR fans reporter, about all the driving and getting and fighting and scraping and bumping and rubbing yesterday. But bottom line is you got your Final Four ready to go. Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr., and those are 4 good ones to go down there to race for the championship.
You betcha. Yeah, if you picked them at the beginning of the year, they'd be 4 of the 6 or 7 that you'd want. If you're in Vegas putting money on it, that's a good bet. So it's going to be tightly contested. And I tell you, we were watching the end on our phones on the infield last night, preparing for Speedway and Lights, as Chase Elliott was so close yet again. One of these days he's going to figure that out, and everybody else could be in trouble. Because once he gets that last 10 laps, buddy, yeah,
He's there.
it's game
Obviously,
on.
the kid can drive a race car.
That's right. That's right.
So, and I thought Denny Hamlin handled it very well. He said, look, this goes to show that I got him in Martinsville. He hit me here, and I'm in the pits, and that's just the way it is. I thought he handled it pretty classy because it, shot his shot, if you will, chance to win a championship. And he said, look, it's racing. And this week it was him, and last week it was me. Thought that he handled it pretty cool. You have a total, by the way, of 8 wins in the championship of guys that won here at Bristol. So Bristol Motor Speedway is well represented. Harvick's won here twice. Of course, Kyle Busch has won here 6 times, including 2 sweeps in 2010, and of course this year. We're talking about the Cup Series. So he's won 6 times here in the Cup, and Brad Keselowski won here in the fall of 2011 and the spring of 2012. So out of the 4, Truex won here in the Xfinity race back in 04. So all of them has tasted victory at Bristol Motor Speedway, but Harvick, Keselowski, and Kyle Busch combined 10 wins here at BMS.
Yeah, Keselowski actually won the first race I was here.
Really?
So I kind of gravitated towards him. So that's who I got. I'm going. He might be the underdog going in, but I like Kez in the big moments.
Yep.
He likes to pull through.
I thought this was interesting. I was talking about this last night. I was on another radio station talking this up. Anyway, matters not. But this is the only sport that I can think of. Help me. That when you're out there, World Series 2 teams, NBA 2 teams, Super Bowl 2 teams, but in NASCAR, the Final Four is out there, but so is everybody else. And so the rest of the field, the rest of the competition is still out there at the same time, which just adds all kinds of interesting side stories to, paybacks and taking care of your teammates. And so there's a lot of what ifs and what could happen coming up on Sunday in Homestead.
The only other one I could think of would be, and it's not even close to true because it's golf. It's more of an individual sport, but interesting concept for golf. You start nailing guys with golf balls to take them out of the competition. Might make it more exciting. Who knows?
Whoops.
Yep.
We didn't mean to hit him. We didn't mean to hit Sergio Garcia. Whoops. Yep. He's out now. So anyway, I guess we'd call him dump him on the golf course.
Yeah.
So. We're talking to our buddy again, Landon Owen. So college football. Let's jump in here. We're going to talk tickets in just a second. BMS before you go, but Butch is gone.
Yep.
Brady's in. The 5 guys I keep hearing are John Gruden, Justin Fuente, Dan Mullen, Chip Kelly, and Lane Kiffin. And I would be shocked if they brought back Lane Kiffin.
I think it would be an impact, that's for sure. It's not going to happen, but keep in mind the guy who was on the search committee when Kiffin was hired was John Curry.
Oh, really?
He helped hire him the last time he was at UT. So you never say never, but I heard he was going off at like 1,000 to 1 or 1,000,000 to 1 odds in Vegas. I was tempted to fly out there and put a buck on him, see what happens. But one that I'll throw out there, I don't think it's one I've heard a lot, is Schiano as well. Kind of a different fit, but he and Butch are very similar in their control needs with the program. I worked with Greg up at Rutgers for a few years, and very bright mind, very organized, very defensive-minded coach. You'd have to have the right offensive coordinator, good recruiter, and he's obviously been at the DC at Ohio State the past couple of years, in addition to being an NFL head coach. So, interesting candidate there. I don't know if fit is necessarily what people in Knoxville would like in their head coach. I think Dan Mullen is the guy that probably is going to rise to the top of a lot of wish lists. But the Gruden and the Kelly thing, I think that's a little pie in the sky.
Well, you also look at Mullen too, because Florida's going to go after him hot and heavy too, for obvious reasons. He's been tied to the Florida program, but again, it's not about the fire; it's about the hire. Is what I'm hearing now coming out of Knoxville. So obviously, they've got to get this one right. I mean, they've had Kiffin didn't work, Dooley didn't work, Butch Jones didn't work, and I think a lot of folks are saying, take your time, but you can't take your time. But you can take your time, but you can't, because you got recruiting. That first signing day is coming up December the 1st. You've already had some guys decommit. You've got other schools you're going to be making some changes. Obviously, I think Arkansas is going to make a change. Missouri may make a change. I thought for a while that Malzahn may be in trouble, but it looks like he is going to survive the sword for now.
Unless he wants a new challenge.
Yeah, there you go. So point is, Tennessee can wait, but can't wait, because these marquee names are going to get scooped up, and so they're really in a kind of somewhat of a tough situation right now.
I've always thought that if you didn't have your next head coach already ready to go, then let the season play out. You already knew you were going to get rid of Butch more than likely, even the past few weeks. But I think it just reached a point where it's not fair to him anymore, and you start to think about the man and his family. And I'm almost happy for Butch that it's now at the point that it is, that he can now stop worrying about it. But the numbers don't lie. I mean, I would look through this conference standings, and Tennessee had only scored 62 points in league play. The next closest, granted they had one more game, but was Vandy, and had twice that much. They were both winless. So doesn't say much about the state of college football in Tennessee, except for Memphis. They're holding it strong in the top 25 at 8-1. Unfortunately, UCF spanked them pretty good, so I don't know if they're on the same side. If they'll get a rematch with them, they might in their conference championship game to get a chance to go play for a New Year's Six Bowl.
We're talking to Landon Owen, the director of ticket sales. So top 10, let's see if you're happy with this. You can live with this. Alabama, Miami jumps up to number 2. I mean, what a job Mark Richt's done
were they
in 2
impressive.
years.
Holy smokes.
In
The last 2 weeks, they had, everybody's like, oh, when's Miami going to falter? Because they played so many close games, and then the last 2 weeks, the 2 best teams they've had on their schedule, they've slaughtered them. And just so impressive Saturday night against Notre Dame.
Once again, the Georgia fans are going, how did we let this guy go? But Kirby's doing okay.
I think they're happy with Kirby. I think he's doing okay.
Kirby's okay.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Miami, number 3 is Oklahoma. Clemson's rock solid number 4, Wisconsin number 5. I think that's the team you need to look out for. These guys are playing pretty good. They will take on Michigan this week. That'll say a lot in Camp Randall. Auburn number 6, Georgia number 7, Ohio State number 8, Notre Dame number 9, and the Cowboys of Oklahoma State round out the top 10. You okay with those?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anybody from the outside that's screaming, hey, we belong in the top 10. The only one, that I really like is UCF. They score a ton of points, and I know they're outside of Power 6 conference. So they might get a couple spots higher, but it's really about where they're going to be. They should probably be right around number 10. I think they deserve to be a top 10 team. They had a little bad luck with their schedule in that they didn't get to play Georgia Tech this year. I think they would have owned Georgia Tech at the time they played them. And they're beating people up bad. And Scott Frost is that name that's out there, as you mentioned a little earlier, that Florida is just going after hard, I would assume, with the location there and the style of offense that he runs. Florida wants to win flashy and score a bunch of points. He brings that Oregon style offense.
Track meet mentality.
Yeah, and now a couple of years head start in recruiting ties in Florida to build that up. But again, he took over a winless team, and now they've completely flipped the script. So you talk about in 2 years, both he and Mark Drick, you talk about Butch Jones of Florida International, you talk about Kiffin at Florida Atlantic, those 4 guys all taken over within the last 2 years, and at worst have 3 losses between the 4 of them.
And then who took over at South Florida? Charlie
Strong. And they've been ranked, they're 8-1. So good hires going down to Florida and taking the talent that they've had on their rosters or maximizing what they've had left, infusing their style and energy and made it work.
For our West Virginia fans watching back home, there's a passel full of them. Hello, and the 2 schools in West Virginia, the Mountaineers, 24th this week. Big win for them, of course, over the weekend. And Marshall, yeah. We are Marshall. We get a big W, and so we're 7-3. So both West Virginia teams are looking good. Are either one of those coaches primed for the picking?
I don't think so. I think that both of them are. I think if anything, Doc at Marshall has been a revelation this year. He was under the knife. There was a lot of pressure, a lot of politics involved. He's weathered the storm and come out well. Over a team that really wasn't expected to do a whole lot. And then Dana's just such a unique guy that he comes with his own set of circumstances. But I think he's a good fit where he's at. As long as the people in West Virginia are happy with him, I think he'll be happy to stay.
We're on baby watch, so I don't want to keep him much longer. But tell me about ticket sales. We got some specials going on here at BMS.
Absolutely.
Stocking stuffers, Christmas season, and a lot of folks do this as Christmas gifts to make that happen for Christmas morning, either in a present or a stocking format to go, wow. We got tickets for 2018 to Bristol, and you got some great deals going on. Tell me about it.
Well, our season tickets, of course, is one of the best values in all of NASCAR, starting as low as $149. And if you purchase before December 1st, good timing with Christmas, you get your choice of pit passes, parking passes, driver's meeting access, additional discounts in some cases. So there's just a lot to choose from. The special is a reward for getting on board and being here for the whole season. That comes with all 4 races plus pole day. It's a great value. Other than that, if you're just looking for the single day cup races, tickets for both races right now start at $60. We're at that point in the calendar where the early bird price has expired for the spring, but both of them start at $60. So give us a call and we'll find something that works for you. 423 Bristol, 866-415-4158.
866-415-4158. There you go. And or 423 Bristol.
And BristolMotorspeedway.com has all the information. Our reps are here 7 days a week right now, so give us a shout and we'll be happy to help you.
Good luck on you, Mrs. Owens.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
We're back up here in a week or so to do this all over again, and so we'll get a baby update. So there you go.
Baby watch 17.
Baby watch 17.
There
you go. 41 days till Christmas. We'll take a quick break, but coming up Friday night, it all gets started. One of the coolest attractions, in fact, it's the #1 Christmas attraction in all of the Southeast. That would be the Speedway Lights, the Night of Smiles, and the young lady that's going to tell us all about it. Our buddy Claudia Bird joins us next year on show number 633 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, $23,995. 17 track, $17,548. 17 cruise, $16,488. 17 spark, $10,950. 17 Malibu, $18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. There she is. We're live here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building, and this Christmas tree, very tastefully done. When I get back up here in a couple of weeks, I'm going to redo the cameras and capture the entire tree. It's beautiful here in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building. This young lady is excited. This is her time of the year. All year is her time of the year, but especially, again, the Night of Smiles coming up this week. We're talking to Claudia Bird from Speedway Children's Charities, and first off, thank you, and great news. You've been gone for a while. Your mama's been under the weather, but she's a trooper, and she is back.
She's doing great. She has lots of prayers have been answered, and she's just doing great. So I am so glad to be home, be back at the Speedway. I had a great 5K. So many wonderful people came out and supported us last night. A lot of fun. A lot of kids, a lot of families, just a lot of fun. So starting to raise money for kids.
Which is what it's all about. It's all about the who?
The kids.
The kids. Again, Speedway Children's Charities, we've been raising money all year long in different ways here at the track, and so it culminates on Thursday night with the Night of Smiles. Tell us about it.
Well, you know it's my favorite night of the year. You know, we've talked about that so many times over the past 20 years. It's definitely my favorite night of the year. It was just, our check giveaway presentation. And then finally one day somebody said, we need to name it the Night of Smiles because you cannot take the smile off of Claudia's face that day. Not much somebody could do to mess with me that day what an honor to be able to raise money and give back to amazing nonprofit children's organizations. And what people have to remember is we work hard to raise this money, but all that money stays here. It doesn't go somewhere else. It doesn't go to another state or another country. It stays right here in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and these amazing nonprofit children's organizations who work year-round. Now, they're the ones who do the hard work, in my opinion. They work year-round to make life better for these kids and to give them opportunities. And if we can give them a little bit of money and make their job just a little bit easier, it's just the most rewarding thing in the world. Think about it. Having a night where all you do is giving away money.
Just up here doling out checks.
I know.
What has been the magic amount to this date? How much have you raised over the years for Speedway Children's Charities?
We've raised over $13 million. And that
That's
that is a
awesome.
bell ringer.
That is
That
awesome.
really is. But it's not it's a whole lot of people here at Bristol Motor Speedway and the community. We are blessed to live in a community where people are so philanthropic. Where people come out, and they've been to Speedway and Lights before, but I know your family does the same thing. They still come out every year because they come out to have a good time, but they also realize by going through Speedway and Lights, they are making a difference in the lives of thousands of children. So come have fun and make a difference in children's lives. That's a win-win situation, in my opinion.
Everybody wins. Of course, the Night of Smiles, again, she's up there literally passing out checks to nonprofit agencies. And again, as she said, covers Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. And again, some of the past folks, Boys and Girls Clubs, and oh gosh, here I'm going to got myself and I got on the list in front of me. Boys and Girls Clubs. Who are some of the other types of hands-on? You've helped those folks, and so there's been other folks over the years, right?
Children's
Tons.
advocacy centers, all in that region, not just one, but several. We do small miracles. An agency called Waiting to Hear, helping with hearing aids for children. Just so many things that we're able to do. Again, we're just trying to make their job easier. They're the ones that do. Those amazing Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Incorporated in our area, the Y after school programs. Think of all those children in our area that have a place to go after school and in the summers that's a safe place, help them do homework, give them opportunities to do things. Those people are the ones doing the hard work. And what we're doing is just wanting to make their job easier if we can.
Some folks in West Virginia were asking me about this, so they don't know the process, but folks actually apply. If that's the right word, these nonprofits.
Absolutely.
So they know ahead of time, so they'll be up here Thursday night upstairs on the third floor of the Bruton Smith building, so they know ahead of time, so there's a application process.
Yes.
Because you have all these different agencies coming to you.
Right.
And so you have to sit down and decide which ones, and of course your goal is to be able to cover all of them before it's all said and done, right?
And unfortunately, we had a great year last year. I will just be honest with you. We didn't raise $1 million this year. Football game helped a lot. It was a great fundraising opportunity for Speedway Children's Charities. But we still had a great year, and we've got to look at it that way. But we had more money, I think, because more people heard about us because of the $1 million last year. We had $1.5 million requested this year. You've heard me say this to you time and time again. Raising the money is great. Giving it away, writing those letters to the nonprofits that aren't going to get any money on Thursday night, when there's people I see in the community, I serve on boards with, I go to church with, and they're getting letters from me that say, so sorry, we just don't have enough money to go around. And that's the hard part of what I do. We've talked many times over the years. My goal is one day, maybe not to give the full amount to everybody requested, but to meet all the needs out there. And so we just work really hard and try to add new events, things like that, like the event we have on Sunday evening. That's a first-time event for us. I'm trying to think, tasting the twinkling lights, where we're doing kind of a wine tasting and everything on overlooking the lights. It's a first-time event for Speedway Children's Charities, but we try to add new things just so we can make more money, so we can reach more children in the community.
And so it stops as far as the fundraising. It stopped. The Night of Smiles, she passes out checks, and then we start a brand new cycle of fundraising starting on Friday night with Speedway and Lights.
That's exactly right.
Love it.
It's time again. Isn't that hard to believe? Yeah, the 21st year of Speedway and Lights.
21st year. Now, it has been voted the top Christmas light attraction in the Southeast. And so again, for folks, by the way, hello to Beth in Georgetown, South Carolina, is watching this morning. We appreciate that very much. So for the folks here in the Tri-Cities, I can't imagine anybody's never been, but for you in the outlying areas, we cover 12 states with this show, you got to make plans to come. And when you're here on the weekends in particular, if you check license plates, there's a lot of out-of-town folks and out-of-state folks. So again, Claudia, kind of step them through and give them kind of an idea, a sense of what Speedway and Lights is all about.
Well, we have a facility that's just amazing. And you know how much we love it. All of those of us who work here at Bristol Motor Speedway, we love it when fans and come in for events, and we love it when people come in and are visiting, and we can take them and tour them and show them around the place because we're proud of Bristol Motor Speedway. But this is an opportunity for you to go through a 4.5-mile light show, over 2 million lights. Yes, you get to go down the drag strip. Yes, you get to go around Bristol Motor Speedway in your car. So it's just a great opportunity. We have an amazing infield where you can get out and roast marshmallows and have all kinds of goodies and have crafts and ride rides, and my grandchildren want to go to the candy store all the time. I mean, just great fun things to do. It's just a great show. It's a lot of fun. It's a reasonable, affordable night for a family. It's a lot of fun to come through the lights and have a good time. Again, I like to go back and remind you, when you're doing that, you think, well, our family's coming and having a great time, and that's important. But just by doing that, coming out and having fun, you're making a difference in the lives of thousands of children. So why not do that? I mean, you'd be crazy not to. We do have lots of families who come. It's a tradition for their family to come year after year. They come certain times. Some come in their pajamas. We have some that get dinner and drive through the lights. I have a friend who's a minister whose family comes through. The kids are still, one's out of college, one's still in college. They still come through Speedway and Lights. They have their same tradition every year. So it's wonderful that the community supports us.
I know too, and on a personal note, the little ones I bring up, they always want to look forward to that open fire and roasted marshmallows down on the infield. And then the little one, her first ever ride on the merry-go-round was at Bristol Motor Speedway, because they put a merry-go-round inside the infield, Christmas Village as they call it. And so they have different rides, and one of those, as we said, being a merry-go-round. So her first ever ride on a merry-go-round, she reminded me that at the fair this summer. She said, "Granddad, remember the first time I ever rode on a merry-go-round? It was at Bristol Motor Speedway. We going this year?" I said, "Of course we're going." So
absolutely,
it's making memories is
That's
what it's
right.
all about. And
That's
so, and as she says, if you've never been to Bristol Motor Speedway, never had a chance to get down on the track, and actually you get to drive your vehicle at a slow pace, but you get to drive your vehicle, your own personal car, truck, whatever, on the high banks
That's
of Bristol.
right. That's exactly right.
And that's a thrill for a lot of people.
Oh, it really is. It really is. I have a good friend who came around one time, and his daughter was driving, and he said she held that over his head for many years until he finally came back through the lights again, because she said, "Dad, you realize I've driven the high banks of Bristol and you haven't?" So, that just made him have to come back and go and drive it himself. So that's exactly right.
So Speedway and Lights starts Friday night. There's another piece of the puzzle too. Once you get on property, it's the only ice skating rink in the region. So the ice skating rink's right outside. They create a literal ice skating rink, big ice skating rink, and so it will be open as well. So tell me a little about that, and then give me the dates for all this.
And I hope you know them, because ice skating rink opens on Thursday night. So yes, it's getting ready. They've made ice. It is so exciting. Another great activity, affordable night for a family to come out, a great date night. Lots of kids come out and have a good time. You want to wear them out so they'll sleep good at night. It's just fun. We have a great time at the ice skating rink, great crowds, and just, we try to we want to do things for the community.
Sure.
We want things to benefit the community, at the same time thinking of ways that we can raise money for kids. And so, we want to be a part of this community, and a part that does raise money, but also has just fun things to do. I mean, you can't take a family out to a movie for which you can come out here and ice skate or go through this light. So, we just want people to remember that it's a great something to do during the holiday. Get you definitely, when you see that, in the mood for, we have this new kind of a space type display I haven't seen yet because I've been out of town, but last night, going through the lights, so many people came up afterwards, said, I love your new space display. It is just, it's amazing. But we also still have everybody's favorites. You know, we've got the dinosaurs. We have the wonderful nativity. We have, I love.
City and the candles.
See, I love that. That was one of the first ones we ever purchased, you know. So it's kind of, when that goes up, it's Christmas time when that goes up. But it's so exciting, so much fun to do it. We also depend on an amazing staff here at Bristol Motor Speedway who has been putting up lights for months, who will be running the light show, and community volunteer groups who come in every night and work with us so that we can have a light show. So it's a team effort. It's kind of become a family activity, and we love it. The team here at Bristol, the family here at Bristol Motor Speedway, had families out here Saturday changing light bulbs. All of our employees and their families out here changing light bulbs.
That's awesome.
So it's great.
Yep, and it's a double whammy. The ice skating rink, the Speedway lights, and then one more little component of this is you can come in through your vehicle, ride through, but if you want to be really cool, literally, because this is really neat, on Wednesday nights we'll have the open sleigh where you can come in, they give you blankets, some hot chocolate, and they'll take you through. It's an open air, quote-unquote sleigh. And so you get a chance to see the lights as you would back in the older days. You're not in your vehicle, and you've seen some of the Holiday Inn and White Christmas movies were in sleighs, and so this is kind of a sleigh, but it's open air, and that's a big crowd favorite too.
That is. People do like to do that. We have a lot of companies and groups that come together. That's a great opportunity. If your vehicle isn't big enough, you can all go through that together on the sleigh. So we encourage people to do that.
It all cranks up Friday night. It goes until January the 2nd?
No, the
7th.
7th, I think it is. The 7th. Yes. And then the ice skating rinks open up a little longer into January.
But again, our friends at Appalachian Digital working on, they've produced the website speedwayandlights.org is what you need to check out. All the information's there, ticket prices, what you need to call ahead to be a part of the open sleigh on Wednesdays because it's a limited seating. And
if you don't want to ride open, we have the BMS Express, which is closed. You can do, I think, on Tuesday and Thursday. So there's all kinds of opportunities. And you're right, that website is the perfect opportunity. We have nights where we have characters here. We have some nights, we have some groups that have asked to come in and sing on certain nights. So if you really want to know what's happening the night you might be coming through, that website is perfect.
Speedwayandlights.org. So the same folks doing my website are doing their website here at the Speedway. That would be Appalachian Digital. Our buddy Jeremiah Clark and Michael doing a great job. So some of the nights there are discounts. You come in, I know Hardee's does a discount night. There's Electric 94.9 night on the ice skating rink. So there's lots of options and discounts and availability. So it's all there, speedwayandlights.org. And it's all about the kids.
It's all about the kids. That's why we're both here, Tom.
I've been doing this for 21 years. We've been together
21 years, yeah, since the very beginning.
Yeah, it's awesome. She's class act, and so $13 million over 20 years. I mean, imagine taking that out of nonprofits' budgets, and some of those would shut down. There's no way they could operate without the money they get here every year from Speedway and Lights. So it is very, very important to these kids, and let's face it, the kids are our future.
They really are. And, anything we can do to make life better for children, a lot of the agents we serve feed children, clothe children, just give them opportunities to do things they might not otherwise get to do. So, special needs children, it's just wonderful. You're right.
It's a bell ringer.
It is.
Love this lady. I'm going to get you back up here in a week or so.
I'd love to. Yes. I would love to.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be back in Tennessee.
And the Lord still answers prayer. Your mama's living proof.
She is. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
There you go. She's a sweetheart. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go to Northern Virginia, talk to my buddy Mike Hedrick. A full rundown of NASCAR. It's coming up championship weekend this weekend in Homestead. The Final Four in. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and yesterday Brad Keselowski punched his ticket for the championship. We'll talk about that. As a matter of fact, those three drivers have a combined 10 wins here at Bristol. Harvick's won here twice. Kyle Busch has won in the Cup Series 6 times here at Bristol, and Brad Keselowski's won here twice. Truex has won here too back in 2004 in the Xfinity Series. So all four of the drivers in the championship this weekend in Homestead have won in the high banks of Bristol. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Show number 633 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
And we're back live again. We are here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, we are here on a Monday, November the 13th, and the countdown to Christmas down to 41 days. And let's go to the phone. He's there, our buddy Mike Hedrick, our NASCAR fan reporter. And, we talked Friday, my friend. We were Food City. We're going to see some drama. And, boy, did we see drama and some great racing and some broken hearts and some happy hearts. And Jimmy Johnson got his heart broke, and Matt Kenseth got his heart swelled up. And so good stuff. First off, good morning or good afternoon. Thank you for your time. And let's jump in here and go. Let's recap the Cup Series on Sunday, yesterday at Phoenix.
Hey, it was great. I'm glad to be on. It's great to be on there. Hard to follow up Miss Claudia Bird there. I mean, she's such a fantastic and wonderful person. And it's so great to see what that whole Bristol Motor Speedway family does. I mean, $13 million in 20 years. That's pretty strong, Tom.
Oh, yes. And so, as I said when she was here, if you take that out of people's budgets, nonprofits, a lot of these organizations will just shut down because they don't have the wherewithal to raise that kind of money. So, yeah, $13 million over 20 years and another big check presentation on Thursday night. So, and we've talked about you and I before, and as she and I did, this is our future, these kids. And so we got to give them every opportunity to be successful, and they are through these nonprofits. So, yeah, kudos to Claudia, and she is a sweetheart, no question. Class act, as all of them are here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So you're following her up, and that's okay because it's Phoenix, and it's Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott and Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth and Brad Keselowski. So take us through yesterday, my friend.
Goodness gracious. We saw some great racing there, Phoenix, at Can-Am 500K. Now, what most fans didn't really realize when you hear the 500, it was kilometers. So it actually was a really short race. It was only about 320 miles. We actually saw some really great racing. Hamlin showed early the speed that he would have all day. Kyle Larson went ahead to win stage one. but that was about it for him. His motor blew at lap 105. That's his 4th straight DNF. I know everybody had him as the golden child to go all the way, but that team really took it hard. Hamlin got the stage win at number 2, stage win. With that and his second place that he took in stage 1, that was all of the 19 points he needed to even himself up with Brad Keselowski. So by the time stage 2 was over, he was an even running pace. Running in the 11th spot, Jimmy Johnson. Hey, he blows the right front, wrecks out the car. He's going to the garage, and he's done for the day. Heartbreaking for him, looking for his 8th championship. And, but it really got crazy. With 61 laps to go, Chris Buescher driving to number 37, he blows a tire, but he sends molten brake parts into the safer barrier and catches the safer barrier on fire. I've never seen that. That was crazy. There was a red flag, stopped the race for a little bit. With 42 laps to go, Chase Elliott gets up under Denny Hamlin, gives him the bump that everybody's talking right now, sends him up the track. 3 laps later, Hamlin blows a tire, cuts a tire, crashes into the wall. The crowd cheers as he heads on out of the way. Hey, a couple more restarts, and Elliott is in the lead, but then Matt Kenseth bumps him out of the way. Hey, goes around. Matt Kenseth gets the win at Phoenix. That's his first this season. His second at Phoenix, but his 39th of his entire career. That's 20th all time, and that was really great to see how Phoenix had even put on the side of the safer barrier there. Kudos to great job, Matt Kenseth, and all that. And actually had awarded him or presented him with a great painting of him racing earlier in his career there at Phoenix. So he might not be getting, like we talked about last week, the year-long victory tour, but it is nice that Phoenix stepped up once they got the word and did some stuff there, because he really is a fan favorite. And for him to go win that race, that's like sticking your nose up to people and going, hey, you didn't think I was worth the ride next year? Well, I'm still a champion, and I'm still a winner.
Well, and it reinforces what we've talked about. He deserves that ride in 2018. His numbers prove it. Former champion, his 39th career victory. So, anyway, Kenseth kind of thumbs up or sticks his nose up these guys and look what you're missing. So it's not to say he may go in and somebody gets hurt and do a fill-in position for some of these guys, but he earns every bit of, as far as I'm concerned, to be driving for somebody, a good company, by the way, in 2018, not just a company just driving around out there just trying to put in laps. I mean, contending for a championship. But he did what he needed to do yesterday, and it was a great storybook finish for Matt Kenseth. And so now we look at the final 4: Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr. Pretty good foursome. Going to get down there and duke it out this coming Sunday at Homestead.
Yeah, it is, and the only thing that I'm not seeing in that foursome is I don't see any Chevys in there at all. This is the first time in a long time that there hasn't been a Chevy contending for the championship. You've got 2 Fords and you got 2 Toyotas, and it looks great. I think, like we've been saying, it's kind of still anybody's game, and especially when you look at these guys here. I mean, if you're going to, maybe Brad Keselowski doesn't have the best chance compared to the other guys, but really, we saw it in the race yesterday. I mean, anybody can make a move. They're all, most of them are all champions, right? In fact, they're all. Well, Truex is not a champion, but yeah, they've got championships, so they're all in this thing. Truex, I mean, for a lot of people, is still the season favorite. I think just emotionally, he has the wins, he's got the stage points, but I think everybody just feels kind of attached to him. That good feeling, with him and Sherry Pollock as they fight, and everyone wants to be a part of that. It would be a wonderful feel-good story for NASCAR, but NASCAR and racing doesn't always go with the feel-good story. So I think it's still wide open when we get down to Homestead. Now, when we talk on Friday, we're going to go over Homestead a little bit more and how it compares to some of the mile-and-a-half tracks. But, those 4 guys right there, they deserve to be there. You could argue Hamlin, but, that's racing, and that goes the way that it is. So, yeah, a great set of 4s. All of them could be champion. All of them would have earned it perfectly well.
We're talking to Mike Hendrick in the NASCAR Fans Reporter. We're live here at Bristol Motor Speedway again on this Monday, November the 13th. 41 days you have to shop till Christmas. We got some great, we'll go down through those again, ticket opportunities for you to make somebody a happy camper for Christmas with tickets from Bristol Motor Speedway. You look at the bottom yesterday, you look at Kyle Larson, you mentioned Jimmy Johnson, Trevor Bayne, Chris Buescher, Cole Whitt, and Denny Hamlin. Those guys, again, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, and Hamlin finishing 35th. So some of the big boys are down to the bottom. Danica, again, yesterday, we always try and tell you where she finished. She finished 25th, and Junior had a nice little ride yesterday. Dale Jr. finishing in the top 10 at number 10 in his final race at Homestead. So those were some of the tales of the tape. But again, Kenseth, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, and Kevin Harvick, the top 5 from yesterday. And so, again, Chase Elliott close, but no cigar. But again, as Landon Owen said earlier in the show, the ticket director here at the Speedway, once Chase Elliott ever figures out those final 10 laps, because he's been runner-up so many times, look out, because this kid obviously can drive a race car.
And he can. I've never really been on the Chase bandwagon, but the young man can really drive. I got into it last night where Twitter erupted last night on what side you were on, Chase Elliott's or Denny Hamlin. And of course, old Mike has to jump in there with his one leg and jump in there too. And there was a lot going on, but really it was said best this morning on there that if you had a problem with what Denny Hamlin did to Chase Elliott at Martinsville, then you should have a problem with what Chase Elliott did to Denny Hamlin. If you thought it was okay for Denny Hamlin to move Chase Elliott, well, then last night you should have been okay with Chase Elliott moving. It was back and forth. Like you said, Denny Hamlin was entirely graceful after the race. He said, you know what, I moved him whatever before. He proved that he doesn't have a problem moving me. That's racing. And he went on. And so, bravo to him. It is good racing. Chase Elliott, he's going to get the victories. I'm not sure that I would say that once he gets one, that's going to open up the floodgates and he's going to get a whole bunch. We see how hard these races are for everybody to win, and even a young guy like that. But even the veterans, this is the top series, and this is hard racing. And so, he's going to get a win, but he's still got to get that win past these other great drivers, too.
Here's Denny Hamlin's official quote, because you nailed it. Again, we're talking to Mike Hendry, the NASCAR fans reporter. He's with us live in Northern Virginia. Each person has their own, this is his quote, each person has their own opinion of how they do things. It just proves to the people that thought I was a bad guy that he would do the exact same thing in the same circumstances. Hamlin says, I got to wait another year for a chance at his first career title. He says, quote, it's just part of racing. I got into him. He chose to retaliate. I'm in the garage, and that's the way it is, end quote. And I thought that was a very cool way to handle this, very classy way for Denny Hamlin, because he saw his title chances go up in smoke yesterday, literally. So, again, I thought he took the upper hand and the upper road, if you will, and handled it very classy, because it's got to be very demoralizing because he's out now, and he had a chance very much to be competing for the championship and did not. So, Final Four's in. As we said earlier in the show, the Final Four, the Cup Series, Kevin Harvick's won twice here at Bristol. Kyle Busch has won 6 times here at Bristol, and Brad Keselowski's won here twice, so 10 total victories between the 4 drivers. Truex won here in the Xfinity Series in spring of 2004, so all 4 drivers have tasted success at, in our humble opinion, the greatest track in NASCAR at Bristol Motor Speedway, and so it's going to be a lot of excitement coming up for the Cup Series. Then you look at the Xfinity Series, and Justin Allgaier has won here in the spring of 2010, his first win ever in NASCAR. Elliott Sadler won the Xfinity Series here twice. There's 3 wins there from Bristol Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series, and none of the truck winners, because they're all so young, none of the truck winners have won at Bristol Motor Speedway. So all told, you've got 11 victories on the drivers in the Final Four this weekend at Homestead, which is impressive. 11 victories coming from those drivers at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And you do, and Bristol is a great gauge to show how much somebody will race and race each other hard. That really will show how much somebody is championship driven. That they can get beyond the stress and the high emotions that always come at Bristol Motor Speedway, and that can usually set them up for a championship. So these guys that have wins there, they're doing great. That gives them a good advantage. You know what? The trucks and everything this last weekend were a lot of fun too. I mean, we saw some of the hardest racing all weekend long with Kyle Busch Motorsports drivers, Noah Gragson and Christopher Bell running side by side, wrecking each other, giving the open spot to Johnny Sauter to go ahead and get the win right over there. And then on the Xfinity side, you got having to fight off non-series drivers like that. The young guy William Byron did excellent over there, and he had to do it with a backup pit crew because of all the junior motorsports pit crews usually come from the Cup side. Well, they got held up in flights and couldn't make it out there. So all the junior motorsports, those 3 teams in the Xfinity race, had to scramble around the garages and put together pit crews that would actually work. And they did great because William Byron at the end of the Xfinity race makes a 2-tire stop. Next he goes for the lead. So yeah, great racing all weekend. I think it's set all 3 series have the best of them in there for the championship race. So it's boiling down. Homestead is going to be this weekend coming up. this is a must-watch. Every practice, watch every bit of qualifying, watch all 3 series. It's just going to be great NASCAR racing all weekend long.
The Final Four in the Camping World Truck Series: Johnny Sauter, Austin Cindric, Matt Crafton, and Christopher Bell. I'm going to tell you right now, keep an eye on Christopher Bell. This guy is a future superstar in this race. In this series, in this sport, I should say. He can drive a race car. The Xfinity Series: William Byron, another one of those guys that's got big time written all over him, in my opinion. Justin Allgaier, Elliott Sadler, the veteran, and also rookie Daniel Hemrick. So there's your 4 for the Xfinity Series, and those are 4, or in this case 8 really good drivers to go along with Harvick and Keselowski and Truex and Kyle Busch in the Cup Series. So got some good ones, but William Byron and Christopher Bell, again, keep your eye on those young men as they go forward in their careers, because I think they've got big time written all over them, no question, in my opinion. So we'll see. I want to say hello to some folks, Don Raines and Susan Bishop and Donna Bryant. Hello to you kids, and Beth McDowell. Beth McDowell down in Georgetown, South Carolina, watching today. Also Renee McNeil and Elizabeth, and Jennifer Johnson, Elizabeth, and some of the folks. The Motorsports Catering Company likes the show. Thank you very much. So continues to grow, and we appreciate that so very, very much. And we're live here at Bristol Motor Speedway today. We're talking to my buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR Fans Reporter. He'll be back on Friday with a full report for Homestead for all 3 series. And so what else on your mind here on this Monday morning or Monday afternoon?
Well, I'm just glad that I got to be like the opening act for Drew Bedard as he's coming up after me. He's such a great guy, and I gotta, it's gonna be. He always has such a great pearls of wisdom. I listen to all of my friends, and I take advice really well. When Drew tells me something or gives me advice, I write it down and I check it off until it's all done. That's how good of advice it is. So I'm glad I could warm up the show for Drew right there and get everything going. But hey, and also for Aunt Claudia, congratulations to her and Speedway Children's Charity. That's an amazing thing to do. In my small way, I'm just glad I'm a little part of the Bristol family, and it sure is nice just to be a part of that. So I just want to thank everybody for your time, getting to listen to all this, and just God bless everybody real good.
There you go, and I'll see you Friday, Screen Taters. We'll do Friday with a preview of the big weekend at Homestead. I appreciate you very much.
Green Taters, woo-hoo-hoo!
There you go, my man Mike Hedrick. He is awesome, folks. Does a phenomenal job. We're very blessed to have him on the show, and thanks again to him and all he does for us. We're going to hopefully he'll continue right on through the off season. We got the awards coming up in a couple of weeks in Las Vegas, and roll right after Christmas, get into qualifying or not qualifying, but testing, and then get into qualifying. We're inside of 100 days to the Daytona 500, so it's not that far away. It's like, Tom, slow down, let us enjoy the holidays. We will, but just to let you know, not that far away. How about it at Champion Chevrolet, our great sponsor here? They have built us a studio inside the showroom at Champion. We'll be there on Thursday for our Double Dip, the day show, and of course in the evening the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. And so at Champion Chevrolet, they've got the GM employee pricing going on right now. Only 4 times, Andy said, in 11 years have they ever done the opportunity to give you the same discounts that the employees get at General Motors / Champion Chevrolet. So when they go buy one, certainly they get a discount. We all know that. But you will too now through the month of November on select 2017 Silverados, Traverses, Expresses, Tahoes, and Suburbans. And another added bonus to that, you can take 20% off select 2017 Cruises and Malibus and Corvettes and Sonics and Impalas. Or if that doesn't work for you, you can have 0% off up to 72 months. You can do the math, 6/12s or 72, 6 years, 0% for up to 6 years in lieu of the 20%. Either one of those, you can't go wrong. And of course, the GM employee pricing through the month of November on select 2017 Silverados, Expresses, Tahoes, Suburbans, and Traverses. I mean, it's awesome. And so we appreciate those folks so very, very much, allowing us to promote them. Our buddy Andy Dietrich and Tim Copenhaver, and the picking panel will have to go and sit down and kind of grade that out and see how that goes. But last week it was between the two. They're pretty competitive, and Tim bounced back and beat Andy after Andy had drubbed him, I think he said, for 2 straight weeks. And so Tim bounced back and got him last week, and we'll see how it goes for this week as well. So anyway, we'll be there on Thursday broadcasting live at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. ChampionJC.com. That website's up 24/7, 365 days a year for your shopping convenience. NBA from last night. Your winners are the Celtics. They beat Toronto. Rockets now 11-3. Celtics 12-2. They beat the Raptors. Rockets 11-3. They beat Indiana. The Thunder over Dallas, and the Pistons run their record at 10-3 as they beat the Heat yesterday last night in the NBA. Tonight, pretty busy schedule. LeBron of the boys, the Cavaliers in New York to battle the Knickerbockers. Kings in Washington, Memphis and Milwaukee, Atlanta and New Orleans coming up again tonight. Also in the NBA, Minnesota, Utah, the Lakers in Phoenix, Denver at Portland, Orlando at Golden State, and the 76ers on the left coast to battle the Los Angeles Clippers. In the National Hockey League last night, Tampa Bay skates past Anaheim. Other winners on the ice, New Jersey, the Washington Capitals, and the San Jose Sharks. Tonight, a light night in the National Hockey League. Dallas skates at Carolina, and the St. Louis Blues are on the ice in Calgary against the Flames. And that's a look at the National Hockey League and the NBA on this Monday, November the 13th, 2017, on show number 633 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Quick break. We'll be right back. We got yet to come. We'll check in with Drew Bedard coming up here in just a few minutes. Also look at college basketball. Also Major League Baseball winter meetings start. What are some of the big topics in the winter meetings? I guess the biggest topic, or one of the biggest topics, is who's going to get the services of one Giancarlo Stanton. And so that's one of the topics of the winter meetings of Major League Baseball. We'll talk about that. Also coming up after we visit with Drew Bedard, take a look at college basketball. The hoops are up and running. And we'll get his take on college football and the departure of Butch Jones and who might be the permanent pick for the Big Orange in Knoxville as they get ready to battle the 21st ranked LSU Bayou Bengals coming up on Saturday night in Knoxville, and then come back with Vanderbilt and our interim coach Brady Hoke. So lots of what-ifs going on down in Knoxville, and we'll check in with my man and also get his take on the Final Four. Got some dandies. Again, a combined 10 wins under their belt. The drivers in the Final Four at Bristol Motor Speedway are racing for the championship this weekend in Phoenix. Harvick wins 2 here. Kyle Busch has won 6 times here. Keselowski's won twice here. And as we said, Truex has not won in the Cup Series, won an Xfinity race in 2004. So all 4 drivers in the Final Four on Sunday at Homestead have tasted victory at the world's fastest half mile. Quick break. We'll be right back. My man's in the house. Can't wait. Love him to death. Dear friend, Christian brother, and an all-around good guy. Drew Bedard next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 633. They said it wouldn't last.
Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, $23,995. 17 track, $17,548. 17 cruise, $16,488. 17 spark, $10,950. 17 Malibu, $18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just 2 great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Coming up next, my buddy Drew Bedard, again, the Senior Director of Brand Management at Bristol Motor Speedway. And as promised, we will check in with college basketball. We're also going to check in with, some more college football news. And also Coach K making history down at Duke. We'll talk all about that and hoops coming up. Again, as promised, next, Drew Bedard here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. And again, we were talking earlier about things you can do to help out the community this holiday season. How about the Race Against Hunger with Food City? Now through November the 28th, we've been talking about it. $1, $3, and $5 scannable cards will be available at each Food City checkout. We were there Friday, of course. We'll be back out on the road at Food City this week. We're in Gray on Friday. You can make a donation at the end of your shopping experience. Here's the part I like. 100% of the proceeds benefit hunger relief and charitable organizations throughout the region. And when you do that, every dollar contribution made using your value card, you're electronically entered for a chance to win a choice of a great season of racing here at Bristol next year for 2018, or a $2,500 contribution to the charity of your choice. Now, does this work? Absolutely. Last year, $363,000. Folks, that's not anything to sneeze at. That went right back into the local coffers of the food banks and to feed the hungry here in our region. Food City just sent a check to $450,000 based on you shopping at Food City to help the Hurricane Harvey folks down in Texas. So Food City always giving back. Here's the logo. Food City, the Race Against Hunger. Of course, that's a press release, but Food City, Race Against Hunger. Please consider when you shop at Food City over the 132 retail outlets in 4 states and give. And again, as we say, if everybody goes in between now and November the 28th, he gives $1, just $1. Every time you shop at Food City, imagine the impact you're going to have to feed the hungry here in the region. And obviously the need is great. There's a lot of hungry folks here in our region. There's some classy folks in our region too, and he's right here on camera ready to go. Man, I love this Christmas. You can't see the Christmas. Can you see this screen right here real quick?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I
This
love
tree
this.
in the
Yeah.
background. Oh, it's gorgeous.
I was hoping maybe you could break into chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
You want your ratings to go down? Because that's where you're headed if you're wanting me singing on. I can sing in church because everybody else is singing. So
there you go. But be that as it may, my man's in the house, Senior Director of Brand Management here at Bristol Motor Speedway, our dear friend Drew Bedard, and it's Bristol, baby. And gosh, let's start with the Final Four is set. Some great drivers: Keselowski, Harvick, Truex, and Kyle Busch are going to be duking it out for the Final Four, if you will, for the championship Sunday at Homestead. And all four of those guys have tasted success here at Bristol.
yes, absolutely. Actually, we were talking about that in a social media meeting this morning. Is that we can go back into the files, and we could pull a great file on all these guys. Obviously, Kyle Busch's sweep in August, and Kevin Harvick winning last year's night race, and got Brad Keselowski's won a couple night races, and Martin Truex, obviously that Bass Pro relationship, has had some good runs here, but and has won in the Xfinity Series, but what a season he's had. Gosh, it's going to be. And this is what you look forward to. This is why NASCAR does this, because this is really intriguing on Sunday. I mean, what's going to happen in the race, but it's also going to be the storylines. I mean, it'll be almost disappointing if Martin doesn't win after this fantastic season that he's had, and also just what a great story him and Sherry are, and his girlfriend, and it's just. You just want to see him succeed, but also Kyle's had a great season. Brad's run really well. Harvick's kind of come out of nowhere here late. I mean, there's just great storylines. I think everybody secretly, you'll be rooting for two things on Sunday, and that'll be a Dale Jr. win or a Martin Truex Jr. win and a championship win, because I think that's just the culmination to the season you want to see. So
well. And for folks who don't know, he's making a great point. Martin Truex Jr.'s girlfriend, Sherry, has been going through and battling for several years now cancer. And so I think I don't know if it's in remission. She's had recent surgeries. So it's been very trying on him to try and drive a race car and be focused, and he's doing it. And so there's a sentimental thing going on there, of course, to see him win that, because he has stood by her through thick and thin. And so it's really, I know it sounds syrupy and cheesy, but it is a true love story between he and her. So everybody's kind of pulling for Truex. Harvick's won twice here. Kyle Busch 6 times here. Keselowski twice here. Truex won the Xfinity race back in spring of '04. Then even in the Xfinity Series itself, Justin Allgaier got his very first win back in the spring of 2010 at Bristol in the NASCAR Series. And then also Elliott Sadler's won here twice. So none of the truck drivers have won at Bristol because they're also young. But the Xfinity Series has 3 wins as well here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So what's the point? The point is Bristol Motor Speedway's got a lot of connections with the winning drivers who are going to be down there at Homestead this weekend. We're talking to Drew Bedard. So we had Claudia on earlier. Speedway and Lights, such a special time. And, and it's going to be a very, very cool night this coming Thursday night, the Night of Smiles. And the Speedway starts, Speedway and Lights, with the ice skating rink and of course, the Christmas Village and the infield and all the cool things going on starting this Friday night.
It is. Speedway and Lights, it's a wonderful time, and we thank the Pinnacle for sponsoring this for the second year in a row. And Ice Rink opens Thursday night too. I mean, it's, I think for the local area and for people who visit the region, even if you're visiting the Smoky Mountains, just what a great celebration of Christmas that this is around here. I think it's a lot of fun for people to come through, and we've got a new experience this year with the Race of Space experience, which is a cool kind of light tunnel that you go through as part of the route. And then, of course, and I know Claudia talked about it earlier, you get to drive on the track, and I mean, who doesn't want to do that? So you get to kind of rev it up and hit the high banks a little bit and see what that feels like for those drivers. But yeah, what a great week. And Night of Smiles is Thursday night, which is the best. Claudia talks about it. It's her favorite night of the year. It's when we're able to take the donation money that people so graciously give us and hand out that money in grants to these children's organizations in Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee. So it's a big week, and I know Claudia was on earlier. It's just so hopefully everybody will go back on Facebook and watch that interview. What a great week it is for us.
We're talking to our buddy Drew Bedard. Santa Speedway Sleigh. This is kind of a hidden, it's not a hidden secret, but it's something a lot of folks don't know about, but we're doing our dead level best to let folks know. This is a really cool way to experience it. This year it's being presented by Tri-Cities Airport.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, you'll be able to run the open-air tram through the Pinnacle Speedway and Lights. So for those of you out of state, you come in and typically just kind of snake your way through very slowly in your own vehicle. Well, this is a chance to run the open-air tram through the Pinnacle Speedway and Lights. Tickets are $8. Each guest receives a bag of marshmallows as well as a picture to capture the fun. Compliments of Walgreens. Again, rides will start at 6:30 each night on Wednesday, so you want to go to the speedwayandlights.org website that Jeremiah and Michael have done through Appalachian Digital and find out more. But that's Speedway and Lights is in of itself special, but to ride in the old-fashioned, like an open air from the old, I was talking to Claudia earlier, from White Christmas and Holiday Inn, you see the old open sleigh type in the old movies, if you will. You have that same opportunity here, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's a neat experience. And the BMS Express, which is sort of our takeoff of the Polar Express. We turned a school bus into kind of a Polar Express type experience. So again, speedwayandlights.org. If you go there, you can find out all about these experiences on some of our heavier nights. You can, we have sort of a fast pass option that you can get if you have a family full, if you've got a minivan full of kids and you need to get through the line quick. So there's all sorts of different options for people. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the sleigh. That's also, most of the time, it's hosted by one of our fair staff here too. So you'll get some good interaction, usually one of us on there to talk you through the night, talk about the Speedway and Dragway for that matter. So it's fun.
There you go. The Pinnacle Speedway and Lights powered by TVA. It all starts this coming Friday night, runs through early January. The ice skating rink actually opens this coming Thursday night, tying in with the Night of Smiles, which will be upstairs here in the Bruton Smith building where we are, where Claudia will pass out those checks, and she is like Santa Claus coming up on Thursday night, passing out goodies to a lot of deserving nonprofit children's organizations.
Yes.
We're talking to Drew Bedard again. We're live here at Bristol Motor Speedway. They're going to be back here coming up in early December to talk more. Tomorrow we're going to be at Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday at Chick-fil-A, Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, Friday we're going to be at Food City on a Food City Friday. College football, let's switch gears real quick. Obviously the big story here in Tennessee, Butch Jones is gone. Brady Hoke, the interim coach I should say, for 2 more games. What's that? You've played sports. What's that do to this football team? Does it energize it? Is it deflating? Is it a lift up? Is it a mixed bag that the head coach is gone and now you got Brady Hoke for 2 games and then past that we're looking for a permanent head coach? So what's that do for these kids or these young men for the next 2 Saturdays for Tennessee football?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, had to see this coming down the pike. I mean, you know, even though Coach Jones has done some great things for Tennessee and had some really solid seasons, probably underperforming seasons because he's had some tremendous athletes come through the program these last few years. He's a great recruiter. So whoever gets Coach Jones or if he goes on to the pros, I mean, he's a good coach, good guy. Obviously was instrumental in the Pilot Flying J battle at Bristol. But you got to think, okay, so for those kids, it's now we got to move forward. We got Brady Hoke, who everybody likes and knows that that's an interim job for sure. So you got to think they're going to have fun these next couple weeks. Probably going to play a lot of guys. They've already had to play a lot of guys at Tennessee because of injuries. Gosh, they have been decimated this year. But got to think these next couple weeks, they're going to take it seriously. Obviously, a big game in Knoxville with LSU this weekend, but try to finish out strong, try to have fun, try to enjoy the game for a couple of weeks. And then I think you got to think these players, even Will McBride and a lot of the younger players, are going to hold on tight and see who is Tennessee going to get because they've got the resources, they've got the money to get a big fish, a whale, coach. And who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? So, you know, on my side, I'm more of you know, I think the Gruden thing is kind of a long shot. I've always thought that. With John, what he does on Monday Night Football and just everything else, he's got a great situation there. I, for one, I'm a big Chip Kelly. I'm on that train because I think he's a wizard. I think he's an innovative genius when it comes to the offense. I think we got to look at what he did at Oregon. But again, it'll come down to relationships. And obviously, with a new athletic director and John Curry at Tennessee this year, he's probably got some built-in relationships. So I guess the cool thing right now is nobody really knows. Nobody's got, you know, even though, you know, all the websites that are out there say, well, this guy was on this plane and this guy visited here and this might be this situation. I don't think anybody really knows yet. Everyone's enjoying making all these predictions, but I think John Curry, as with most early athletic directors, you got to make a statement. You got to say, I'm I'm serious. Okay, this football team and this with the Nick Sabans, Jim Harbaughs, Urban Meyers, these guys that are out there. I think there's only one way to a national championship or to get all the way there. I mean, you take a flyer on somebody like Dabo Swinney, and he just works out to be a wonderful head coach and to take Clemson to where they are now. But really, if you look at the statistics, it's about these coaches that have proven track records and they have these great methodologies. And I think with John Curry, he's got to look at, I got to put somebody in, I got to put a big name who can recruit and who can coach like crazy. Because I think that's the one thing it's the execution. The Pete Carrolls, Bill Belichick's, Jim Harbaugh's, Nick Saban's, whatever, when you go down the line. When it comes down to it, yeah, they're great recruiters, but they can execute, man. They get their kids to know their roles, know their jobs, and they play well, and they win. And that's ultimately what Tennessee's got to be after. So,
well, you've nailed everything. But after Kiffin and Dooley and now Butch Jones, I know this is
it's hard, man.
Flash.
It's hard to get a good coach, but yeah,
you've
go ahead.
got to get this one right. I mean, and nobody really knows. Everybody thought Butch Jones was right. It just didn't work out. But this time around, John Curry, of course, he's trying to build a resume for himself.
Sure.
So he's got to make some right moves. But you've got to go get the right guy. The problem with it is December 1st, that first signing date. Some of the kids have already decommitted to Tennessee. I don't know if they can get them back or not. You've got other schools, more than likely, Auburn or Arkansas is going to look for a new coach. Missouri,
yep.
Florida's looking for a new coach. Those three are just
That's
in
a
the
big
SEC.
job too. You got to think Florida's a big job
That's
too.
That's a big fish, and so the longer you wait, but you want to make the right pick. But the longer you wait, then you run the risk of some of these big fish being caught by somebody else. So, but I would think Tennessee versus Arkansas job, I would think Tennessee would be more attractive.
Sure.
That's no slam on Arkansas, it's just the way it is. Florida probably may be a bigger fish than Tennessee.
Yeah, because you're pulling from probably what would be deemed a better talent pool in Florida when you're pulling from Florida kids. But you got to think Florida State's down a little bit, but Miami's on the rise again. Mm-hmm. So a lot of kids going to want to go to Miami. So Florida's going to want to get a great coach too, because they're going to want to recruit in these next few years. So it's fun. Sports is fun.
It is
but
fun.
And Coach Jones, I think at the end of the day, everybody can say he did a good job. Unfortunately, the results didn't match, but he's walking out with a nice buyout. He's going to get a great job. I think he'll keep his reputation up. I think everybody, even though these last few weeks have been tumultuous, one thing I did want to say was this has had to be in the works for 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh.
I mean, there's been reports they've been working on his buyout and all these other things. That at the same time, and this is what's amazing about being able to kind of cover up who they've been talking to, is you got to think they have been having conversations with some agents of who could come in here, because again, you've got your recruiting deadlines and you've got these kids that are decommitting. They're going to want to turn quickly and present a solution in the next. I mean, you got to think that that's going to happen probably right after the last game of the season, that they're going to say, this is our guy, we're going, boom, we're off and running, let's go recruit and let's get all these kids back, or let's make sure we get solid athletes. So it's fun to watch. We'll see what plays out.
All right, I want to get your take on, we've eliminated Gruden, and I think we're eliminating him. I don't think he's going to come. Chip Kelly, don't know yet. You think it'll be a good fit? The other three that I've heard batted around today was, and I just don't see Lane Kiffin coming back, but he's one of the ones in the fray, and I'm thinking, nah. So that puts me down to...
That feels like that would be the worst decision this athletic director could make, would be like, well, Lane Kiffin's having a decent season down in Florida. And it's like, yeah, but the dude burned the school. Like, you got to have some loyalty to your fan base and to your boosters and all these people that spent money, and he just, like a thief in the night went to USC, and Lane's he's a hot, I mean, Coach Kiffin is a hothead. I mean, everybody knows that. He knows that. I mean, he's kind of up and down too. But sorry, so keep going. Who are your other candidates?
The other two that I keep hearing is Justin Fuente, Virginia Tech, which we saw here last year, the Battle of Bristol, and then the other one was Dan Mullen, Mississippi State, who gave Saban all he wanted. The guy's 32 and 38 at Mississippi State, which is a tough place to win because you got limited resources in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So
Dan Mullen's realistic. He's realistic at Florida though too, because he came from there. And I think, what was the other one that you mentioned?
Fuente.
No way. Coach Fuente comes comes to Tennessee. He's got a good job at Virginia Tech. I think that's why Coach Beamer and a lot of people have stayed there so long. I think that's a good job, and he's got a good program.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on the rise.
And they're going to be there every year.
A tough loss this past weekend, but they're on the rise.
Yeah,
They're
8 or
on the
9
rise.
losses every year. They're going to be battling the ACC championship. Probably makes a nice living in Blacksburg. I don't see that coming.
It's a great stadium. It's a great fan base. It's fun to go up there and play football. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see that unless Coach Fuente, unless he gets a big leap. I don't think Tennessee's a big leap from Virginia Tech.
Scott Frost, keep hearing his name,
Yep,
but I
keep
think
hearing
he
his
may be
name.
heading to Nebraska to take Mike Riley's place because there's some rumblings there that he may go back to their alma mater, but we'll see. And then the other one Landon brought up was the defensive coordinator at Ohio State, Greg.
Schiano from
Schiano.
Rutgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either. I don't know. That doesn't feel like a good fit to me. And my brother went to Rutgers, and I know Landon was there for a time. My brother was there. BostonSportsJournal.com, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, just throw that plug in there. BostonSportsJournal.com. Yeah, Greg Bedard. There you go.
Yeah.
Go check out his site if you're a Boston sports fan. He was there during the Schiano days, and while Coach Schiano was a great coach, I just don't know if that mix. I mean, I think he had the right kind of grit for a New Jersey-based, university. It just didn't feel like it didn't work out in Tampa Bay and some other things, but who knows? This is going to be fun to watch.
Chip Kelly, by the way, 3 years at Oregon, 47-7. Had a high-powered offense, run and gun, fun and gun. I mean, it was
how much fun was it to watch Oregon during those times? It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And, I mean, man.
So, I agree with you, Fuente. I agree with you, Kiffin. I don't think Gruden. I mean, I would have thought he'd already said he's coming if he's going to do it, but maybe he couldn't. I don't know. We'll see. But out of all the 5 that I kept hearing this morning on the prognosticators, I would think Dan Mullen. But again, he's up against Florida, and Florida wants him pretty bad because they got their interim guys. So, as Drew said, we'll see. It's good stuff. Last but not least, Winter League meetings, Major League Baseball. Got some topics on the table. One of those is, who do you think's going to get Stanton? Where do you think he'll go?
The Yankees. I mean, that seems like the natural fit, I guess. I don't think the Red Sox really want to go that route, and then you got to think about what are the other teams that have the money or are willing to take the salary and move it over, because he's making if it's not the richest, it's close to the richest salary in baseball right now. So the Dodgers, I mean, the Dodgers seem realistic, and maybe some others, but I don't know. Yankees seem like the natural fit, and it seems like that'd be a move that they would make, like with the move they made with A-Rod late in his career. We'll see. I don't know.
Here's what they're saying. The Cardinals, the Giants, the Red Sox, and the Phillies are said to be most involved. The Cardinals and Red Sox especially are very interested. But
I did not know that. So obviously I am not up on my sports trivia right now of who's involved in the Giancarlo Stanton bidding.
Sweepstakes.
Gosh, I don't know, man. Alex Cora, we just got our new manager with the Red Sox. We'll see how that, I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe Alex Cora, maybe there's a relationship there. Maybe, well, who knows? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of jingle. Were you surprised the Yankees let Girardi go after what he did? I mean, he was got a fairly young ball club, eliminated a good Indian team, and got him into the and they turned around and canned him.
That showed me that was in the works already, because he had a good end of the season and they made a decent run. That was already in the works. It was going to go their separate ways anyway. This probably before the season was over. They said, no matter what, no matter how good we do, unless we win a World Series, he's gone.
One more switch before I let him go, and give me again, in your humble opinion, top 4 teams in college football right now. Are the polls solid?
Absolutely, Alabama. Yeah, I don't know. I think Miami's really shown up these last few weeks. So you got to give. I love Mark Richt too. He's a good friend of my uncle in Florida, and just happy to see what he's doing down there. Such a big fan of his as a person. So yeah, and I saw Alabama, Miami, Oklahoma, Clemson. That seems right. I don't think I would take anybody and bump them up any higher than where we're at right now. I think that's about right. And if that ended the season today and that's your Final Four, I think everybody can go home happy. So
rivalry
good for
weekend.
Auburn, though. Good for Auburn.
Yep, 2 more weeks. And of course, the big one's rivalry weekend when everybody plays each other. The Biggies, Ohio State, Michigan, the Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama. Get right down the list. All the big teams: Florida, Florida State, South Carolina, Clemson. So after that dust settles and will begin putting pieces together for a 40-bowl college football season.
Can I make one more plug before we end the show?
Yeah, where's your brother work?
BostonSportsJournal.com. But I was going to say, NASCAR tickets for next year are on sale now. I'm sure Landon covered that. But one of the things I wanted to let people know is this is great for the holiday season, especially if you live in this area or anywhere in Tennessee, kind of, southern Kentucky, Virginia, and now into North Georgia. Is our tickets are launching at Food City this week again. So you'll have April and August NASCAR tickets. So your April Food City 500 is just $50 and $10 for kids. The night race for next August is $60 and $10 for kids again. So great deals at Food City. That will launch Wednesday of this week, so you'll be able to get your family, if you want to put something under the tree. We get those orders. We deliver them via email, so that'd be something you could put in a gift bag or a gift box and put it under the tree this Christmas.
There you go. And we're 41 days away from Christmas. So.
That's crazy. You love to count down Christmas.
I love counting.
You're like 364 days from Christmas as soon as it's over.
Pretty much what I do. Yeah, I love Christmas.
You're like Santa Claus
around
here.
Got 4 trees up year round in my home, so love it.
Yep.
Thanks
for having me on, and thanks to Champion for sponsoring your show. Love Andy and everybody over at Champion. Love the Dietrich family.
They're awesome.
They are.
You are too.
Thanks.
It's Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol, baby. That's right.
Take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll wrap up with some college basketball and high school basketball next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us as we wind this thing down, as we work our way through. We're now in overtime, by the way. Anytime after 1 o'clock, we're in overtime here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. College basketball, Mike Krzyzewski became the first men's Division I coach in history to win 1,000 games at the same school on Saturday when they beat Utah Valley 99-69. And so, again, Coach K, and it puts him up there as one of the all-time great coaches, obviously. And so they will be ready to go for tomorrow's Champions Class against Chicago with an undefeated record. Ensures they'll be ranked number 1 of the AP poll. Their opponent will be Michigan State, which is ranked 2nd of the AP poll. Other Champions Classic game will feature Kansas and Kentucky, and so some great basketball early on here in the college basketball season. From yesterday, your winners in top 25 play: number 23 Seton Hall, number 16 Louisville, number 5 Kentucky, 20th ranked Purdue, 13th ranked Miami, and 3rd ranked Arizona. All get wins yesterday in men's college basketball. Virginia Tech, the Hokies win yesterday. They blow out the Citadel 132-93. The Hokies now 2-0 in the season in men's college basketball. The ladies lose yesterday. Tennessee defeats East Tennessee State in women's basketball 87-49. Also, the Bucks of East Tennessee State, the men's team, on the road tonight at Savannah State in Georgia, and that'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off tonight, again from Savannah State. Top 25 college basketball tonight. Number 15 Minnesota, the Golden Gophers at Providence. Also tonight you have 8th-ranked Florida hosting Gardner-Webb, 12th-ranked Cincinnati, the Bearcats of Western Carolina, 14th-ranked Notre Dame hosting Mount St. Mary's, 19th-ranked Northwestern tonight hosting the St. Peter's Peacocks. I love that one. 24th-ranked Baylor taking on Texas A&M at Corpus Christi, 17th-ranked Xavier tonight hosting Rider, 7th-ranked Wichita State, the Shockers hosting hosting the College of Charleston, 22nd-ranked St. Mary's with New Mexico State, and Southern Cal again at 1-0, 10th ranked in the country, entertaining North Dakota State in men's college basketball. NFL from yesterday: winners Saints, Packers, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, the Titans, the Rams, Jacksonville, Atlanta, San Francisco, and New England. Tonight, Monday Night Football, Miami at Carolina. You have high school basketball tomorrow night. You've got them. It will be Daniel Boone at Greenville, the Hall of Champions game, Hancock County at Cherokee, and Sullivan Central at Unaka. That's both guys and girls tomorrow night to kick off the 2017-2018 high school basketball season starting tomorrow night. And so that's what's going on there, and that's what's pretty much going on in sports here again on this Monday. I want to say thanks for you giving us a watch and listen as we're in the lobby here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Love the tree behind us. We will have a tree on the set when we get past Thanksgiving, so we will do that. And Jeremiah's going to work on having, I hope we're going to try to have some blinking lights around the screen. I hope that's going to be cool, kind of like Charlie Brown Christmas, have some lights around the perimeter of the screen. And we're going to do some things for the turkey for Thanksgiving, which is coming up a week from Thursday as well. Thanks to our guest today, Claudia Bird from Speedway Children's Charities, Drew Bedard, the Senior Director of Brand Management here at the Speedway, also Landon Owen, again, the Director of Ticket Sales here at the Speedway, also Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR Fans Reporter, and also want to say thanks to, last but certainly not least, Kevin Harmon with the UT Sports Update, in this case, Tennessee Football Update. Tomorrow at Phil's Dream Pit with a brand new list of guests and ready to go. We, again, want to remind you this is archived, so you can go up and watch it and go back and check it out at your convenience. So show number 633 in the books, countdown to Christmas at 41 days. And so for all those folks, and of course our guy that runs this thing, our buddy Jeremiah Clark from Appalachia Digital, and of course the Lord Jesus, whose show we dedicate this to each and every day. Until we join you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. Until then, we'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. And so long from Bristol Motor Speedway on this Monday, November the 13th, 2017. So long, everybody.